Hello everyone, welcome back to my lecture series on strategic management. We are in chapter 6, strategic edge chapter. And in the last video, we discussed about BPR, and in this video, we will focus on benchmarking. In simple terms, benchmarking is nothing but comparison. Okay, comparison, or we can say that copying from what others are doing. Okay, so benchmarking as defined by CAMP, finding and implementing the best business practices. If company A is doing something good, copy it and use it in company B. So you are benchmarking it. So finding and implementing the best business practices into this in our company. So benchmarking is a strategy tool of comparison. So we compare our business processes, our decisions, strategic decisions, our product design. It might be anything. It can be product design or our processes or our strategies. Anything can be compared with your competitors or other players and change it in your organization if it is more successful in other part of the businesses, other part of the competitors. So then take it and implement it. Okay, so this is called as benchmarking. So it is a tool of or a strategy tool of comparison. It compares the performance of the business with how competitors are doing, what they are doing. Manager takes the best practices from those competitors or within an organization from one department to other. So it is all about taking best practices. So benchmarking is all about taking best practices from competitors or internal one department. If it is they are doing something good practice, then follow it. Okay, end of the day, why we do these things? To improve the company's performance. So improving company's performance is a most important goal of benchmarking exercise. Initially, in 1950s, when benchmarking was started, it was all about how other competitor is producing goods. It is all about taking the production technology or something from others and recreating it. So there is no need of creating a new process, new technology or something, copying from other manufacturers. It was so technical initially in 1950s, but it moved to a competitive benchmarking where performances started comparing from one party to another competitors. So there were metrics. If I'm selling 10,000 units of car, what is my competitor is doing, how they are different. That kind of competitive benchmarking came in force in 1976 to 1986. Later, process benchmarking, the entire process here, it was so technical, it was all about numbers and other things. And in case of 1982 to 1986, process benchmarking is if one company is following the best processes, that processes can be brought in here in our company to implement. So it is non-technical part of it. Technical, so anyhow it started initially. So now the processes and then strategic benchmarking. So this is all about comparing strategies of company A with company B and taking a decision. So you are a company A director or a strategic thinker, strategic leader. So you will see what are the strategic decisions of a company B, company C, what your competitor. This is all about strategy level at topmost level. Here all about a product level, it is all about numbers, it is all about process, here all about strategic decisions. So what are the winning strategies of a competitor and then apply it. If one company decides to enter into a new market, see that if it is success, then you also get into that market. Okay. So these all are your strategic benchmarking. Now, initially it was restricted within a country, within a company or with small set of competitors, but now it is a global benchmarking. You can take technology from one company, process from other company, strategies from other company. So, and that company may not be in within your country, it might be across the globe. So, the whole scope is benchmarking yourself with various companies to get a best out of this. Okay, get a best practices from various companies across the globe. Okay, so we know that benchmarking can be of a strategic or anything on a performance side or a process side. So strategic benchmarking is all about taking what the successful strategies from competitors and implementing it successful strategies. Performance or is all about technical skills and how the other competitors are and measuring the performance metrics, how 10,000 units they are produced, we are producing 12,000 units. Their profitability is uh, 25% gross margin, our profitability is 15%, so we need to improve it. So all performance matrices benchmarking and also the process benchmarking. Process benchmarking is if they have a better procurement process. So copy that, benchmark that, and create your strategies accordingly. In simple terms, it is copying, but it is not a copying. It is using the best practices and applying it to your business with small modification. It is not necessary, guys. Remember, if it is working fine with company A, it is not necessary that it will also work fine for company B because DNAs for both these companies are different. So benchmarking is taking this, making certain modification, and then applying it in your businesses. So benchmarking includes strategic benchmarking, performance benchmarking, or a process benchmarking. These are the types of benchmarking. But this benchmarking you can do with your internal departments only or internal companies. You have 5 companies and strategy of one company is doing better, so you copy it and use it. Or performance metrics, you compare with your internal companies, how revenues are coming from your IT division, how revenues are coming from your manufacturing companies or a product A, product B, whatever the way you can compare it, right? Internally. Then what your competitors are doing, what other external environment, and then you can also focus on a functional benchmarking. Each of your functional processes, what we discussed, that also can be compared or a generic comparison. So you can do a strategic benchmarking, performance level comparisons, or a process copying, but at the same time, it can be through internal or external or competitive, functional benchmarking, and general benchmarking. These all are the approaches and these all are the types. What is the advantage of using benchmarking? Easy to understand use, right? It is already done by someone. You have to just go through that and read it. It is very easy. And if it is already successful, then it is a low cost activity for us because already people have invented the entire process. Take that, modify it, and use it. Okay. So it will bring innovative ideas to the company. So what others are doing, be cautious here. Every strategy may not be useful for you, but take a it brings you some innovative ideas in the company, so you can discuss on that and select whatever is required. It gives a lot of insights. It includes reduces the cost and increases level of performance when compared to rivals, and it is going to help us in cooperation between teams, units, and divisions. What are the disadvantages? It is very difficult to identify with whom we are going to benchmark. Can company A try to benchmark with B? Because the ambition, practices, the leadership style, everything may be different here and different here. So identifying which is a better benchmarking partner is an important thing. And it is very, sometimes it is very difficult to compare now what measure we have to take it because the scale, the foundation of these two are different, right? If these companies invested 10 billion and making profit of 5 million, and here it is invested 1 billion and made a profit of 2 million. So in this way, it is a very difficult to set the matrix. Huge investment and little increase in profit, less investment and decent amount of profit. There are many possibilities to decide a matrix. So it is also again a challenge. And it is a costly affair because internally you may not be able to do it. You may hire a consultant. And so that's why it increases a cost for you. And always any strategic initiatives resist to the change from a team is always be there. So these all are the disadvantages of benchmarking and these are advantages. So then we'll conclude this chapter with a benchmarking wheel. How do we initiate our benchmarking journey? First, we will plan, then identify benchmarking partner. So what is that we want to compare here, with whom we want to compare, and then collect the required data because this process remains almost all same for every steps. Okay, every even a strategic planning process or a strategic thinking process or your strategy. What is that like? We in the previous video we discussed about uh, what is that we discussed? Okay, BPR process. So everywhere it remains almost same. Plan, analyze, plan, find, collect, analyze, and improve. So once you do the planning, you find out which company to be identified, collect it, collect all the required data, analyze and set the benchmarking thing. And once it is done, continuous monitoring to improve. Okay, you did the benchmarking thing, you've taken, you try to implement everything. So then always continuous monitoring and improve is the last step. Here is a Xerox example of the benchmarking process. It is taken from your ICSI study material. So Jarak said it is a 12-step process for benchmarking. So the wheel, whatever we saw there, right? Planning, analysis, integration, action, and maturity. They said it is a 5-step process again, but with a little change name, but actions taken in each of the phases remain same. So in the initial phase, we will identify what we are going to benchmark, who is a benchmarking partner, and then we have to collect all the required data. And in the second phase, it is an analysis, what we are doing currently, and with that, what will be our future performance level. Then you communicate all this information to everyone and get acceptance and set up the goals for every functional department. Start implementing it, develop action plans, implement, recalibrate if benchmark is not, we are not able to meet the targets or other things, recalibrate, and then by implementing you will be attaining a leadership position and then start using it as an integrated process. So here is a 12-step process for benchmarking from Jerax. Okay, 12-step process. They called it. This is a general cycle: plan, find, collect, analyze, and improve. But here, this is a given by Jerax 12-step benchmarking process: planning, analyze, integration, action, and maturity. Take any one cycle and be perfect on that. So with that, I think I'm closing my benchmarking video. And in the next video, we will discuss about total quality management. Thank you so much, guys. I request you to subscribe my channel. I request you to give some feedback so that I can improve and re-upload the video. Thank you so much.